Dear friends, I wish you all to travel through this year with strong health and a powerful drive to all that you desire and dream for you and your dear ones. I want to thank you again for watching my podcast, CQ World Stories with Felice, Yankee Oscar to Mike Golf India, a podcast dedicated with honest joy, with curiosity and passion to the wonderful members of the amateur radio global community, and through them, to this amazing world, which has the power to connect people from all around the world, regardless of our race, culture, religion, language, gender, and personal beliefs about society and life. The number of subscribers has increased significantly in the last few weeks, which is a powerful motivator for me to improve my work in 2026. With this being said, here I am at the first edition of this new year. I invited a very popular young lady of the last several years in the world of DX and the expedition. Due to her passion for amateur radio and having a genuine presence in this community, Raisa, Romeo 1, Bravo India Golf has become a very well known operator with a worldwide experience in the DX world. And due to her attraction for the expeditions, her experience grows bigger, consistent, and challenging. Raisa's example could be an inspiration to the young generation. And I'm pretty sure she is an example. She is already an example. And not to say that her joyful spirit, whenever she goes on air, amplifies this positive impact on anyone who hears her voice or sees her in the very nice, very well done videos and photos that she has on social media. She loves to be part of this huge, wonderful community. And this is the reason why I have entitled this podcast edition Raisa Radio 1 Big in the wonderful world of the amateur radio community. Dear Raisa, thank you for joining me in this podcast dedicated to you, to your passion for amateur radio. I simply say welcome. Thank you for accepting my invitation, and I wish you a great time enjoying this experience with me.
Thank you very much, dear Felice. Thank you for having me here. And I'm very glad to meet you and to have this opportunity to talk about our wonderful hobby.
Which is indeed something wonderful for everybody who tries at least one contact. And because you already have such a big experience, but not only experience, you are an enthusiastic kind of amateur radio presence. And everyone who sees you sees this first, that you always have a very positive emotion, a very powerful enthusiasm. And in these not very happy times, is something very special to have this. So I would like to ask you first, how do you keep your enthusiastic, joyful spirit up each time you go on air?
It's very, very easy to do. Because firstly, ham radio for me, it's miracle. Because when you are when you are making CQ, you don't know from what the part of the world this CQ will be answered. And it's always miracle. It's always very, very interesting. Second thing that it is very friendly community, and I am so happy to meet my friends on the frequencies and to speak a little bit and to even it is a very short QSO. If I know that someone on the end of our radio waves have smile, I'm very happy. So it's bring me many nice emotions, and every time when I'm on the air, I have wonderful mood and much energy. And as also, I think that not only the radio signals goes from ionosphere, also the part of our energy, the part of our hearts, from our words, from our wishes, also share it by radio, by ionosphere. And I think it's really wonderful.
It is indeed. And you just said something wonderful. And I really hope, as you do, that everybody in this community understands exactly what you said. That it's not just an exchange of controls and technical aspects that we are doing, is us traveling through the radio waves, which is really wonderful.
Yeah.
Your call sign is recognized by so many amateur radio operators worldwide. Recently, meaning 2 days ago, on one of the WhatsApp groups that I'm part of, somebody just went to say, I'm in a CCW and Raisa is in. And he put there your presence with the info. And I said, okay, so she's active again. So people really know you. And this is something wonderful. What does this sense of global community, because you address your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts to a global community, what does this mean to you, and this mutual recognition between you and other people, what it means to you?
Uh, it means for me much. um, because it's like exchange energy. I told about it already, that I share my joy, I share my positive view, I share so many beautiful emotions that brings me happy. And especially in our hobby, when mostly men, they are not so emotional, mostly like we women. So, and it is important. I see that the people like this energy, and they bring me also nice comments, nice tips, advices. I always ask about something, about experiments, what I'm doing. For example, right now I have my new QTH. I'm so happy to be on the air from finally from my own flat. I have simple antenna, but this simple antenna works very good. And I had the DX on this simple antenna many times, and it's always very, very happy. Brings me a happiness. So it's nice. It's nice to have this opportunity to share with the people my positive view, and to feel the same from the other sides.
Which is absolutely fantastic. And probably you are a very sensitive person, and for you, it's much more easier to live all these that you are saying. And I don't know, it's genetics or it's the way you have educated yourself. So for the curious people to know more about you, and not the present you, but the younger you, when you have started everything, I think it's wonderful to go back in time to your start. And from a brief info that I found, I know that you come from Tashkent, your native place. And I don't know more than this. So I have to ask you, do you have any memories related to amateur radio during those years? Did it start in Tashkent or where else? Please tell us.
No, I became a ham radio operator in 2018. And it was many years how I already moved to St. Petersburg from Uzbekistan, from Tashkent. And I did not have any memories that time. But not long time ago. I have an interesting story, and my father's friends told me about it. My father died in 2012. And that time I didn't know nothing about ham radio. And of course, I did not know that my father was involved to the ham radio for a while when he was young. And this information gave me his friend. And I was so surprised. And it's so shame that I couldn't ask him. I can't ask him about why he stopped, why he did not continue, and what he did. And it's very interesting information for me that he was also involved in ham radio.
Wonderful. So, not having direct access to his experience, it could be something that probably bothered you when you heard about it. But probably there was someone else, and I believe you had your own mentor, like all of us. And I don't know, the mentor is a very important person, no matter what kind of activity we are talking about. But even more when we talk of something so sophisticated as radio communication. Tell us, if you can, something about this person, your mentor, how easy it was to learn from him or her, maybe, and how would you describe your first steps in working with radio waves?
So I don't have only one. I have many of my Elmers, mentors in ham radio we
Yeah.
called Elmers,
Yeah.
and each of them influenced to me from different way. Firstly, of course, it's Alex, UA1AJT, and Yuka, OH2BR, and Boris, OH5 Zulu Zulu. Big thank to each of them. They helped me in different ways, and I am also what is I like in ham radio, because we always on this way. It's not like you became ham radio operator and it's all. You always learn something new. You always try something new. And it is very, very, really interesting. Lately, I'm very involved and interested in contesting Sergey Radio Whiskey One Foxtrot helped me as a coach in contesting, and he's a good example for me for training my own contesting skills. So there are many people who helped me in our hobby.
I think you should consider yourself very lucky to have a bunch of teachers around
Yeah.
to teach you many things. And I think also that you are a very good student, because if we, all of us, we are not very easy to be convinced to do something, then it's pretty hard. But probably what you already told us uh, also tells about the passion that was inside of you, and someone helped you to discover it. So, how did you actually uh, feel that you want to do this? How did it start, everything?
It was my first time in Finland when I had the QSO when I was not a licensed operator, just with the mentor who was nearby me. And I was so surprised how it's possible to make contact through the radio. Don't use any phone, don't use internet, and to have this contact from Finland. It was a station in Moscow. And I was absolutely excited about it. And immediately became with the idea to have my own license and to prepare to the first exam. And it was in May, and in December 2018, I passed my first exam and got UB1 AOA call sign. It is my very first one, and start my way to ham radio. And after this, I thought that so interesting hobby, but there are only few women. And why it's
Yeah.
so few women in our hobby?
Yeah.
And after that, the idea became to me to have to make a YouTube channel and to show my way to ham radio. I don't teach somewhere anything, but I just like to share the emotions, and I like to share all my experience from the very beginning until now. It's already 7 years how I am a ham radio operator. So, and it is really great because I have many messages from my friends, and they told me that their wives would like to be ham radio operators, or they are already ham radio operators during this time. So it's really nice, and it seems for me that there are more whales on the air now than it was, for example, 7 years ago. So I think that it's nice, and maybe for some of them, I can be just an example how it can be interesting for women.
Exactly. So I wasn't wrong when I said in my introduction that you can be an example. I said for the young generation, but probably it's not only young generation. And you mentioned something very important, the fact that women are still in a very small number in this community.
Mhm.
And through these kind of examples, probably there are many of them, they feel it, but they don't know how to express it, or they don't know how to see it
Mhm.
in front of their eyes. So looking at you, and you are a very good example, because exactly as you said, the transfer of knowledge, of experience that you do in your videos is very easy for someone to accept it, because you are doing it in such a natural way, everything. Your emotion is so positive, so it's very easy to learn from you. So yeah, I think you are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Coming back to the core of your passion, I know that you love, from the many types of communication that the amateur radio allows, it seems that you have focused more on DX. It's your favorite. Why? Because there are many other ways to communicate. Why are you attracted to DX more?
Because it's always very interesting how such a simple equipment can contact you with the other part of the world, with the small island which is very rare on the air, or with the I don't know, with Australia or North America. For me, it's a big DXing, and every DX makes me happy, because I know that it is some miracle in our ionosphere when our waves reflected and fall down somewhere on the Pacific Ocean, for example. It's always very, very interesting. And I like the XCC, not a competition, but diploma. I would like one day to have it. I have already, I think, around 100 and maybe 20 countries in my log, but it's difficult because sometimes I work with the different call signs from, for example, from Finland, OH7BG, and then it is the other log and the other DXCC diploma. But I will do it step by step.
Sure.
Yeah. And I'm
Very.
very, very proud of the people who already achieve this level of mostly of DXCC honor role. It's a
Exactly.
really great job.
Well, you are not very far from that moment. And
No, I think I'm very far from it, but it's okay because not only the result is good, the way is also very nice.
yeah, exactly. The journey is much more important than the destination of it. And
Yes.
this kind of journey definitely is amazing if you vibrate with every contact that you have to feel it. And even more, you are pretty recent. You said 2018. So in only 6 7 years, you did a lot of contacts. So there are people who really keep on working after a few decades of work on DX to reach that result in order to become a member of the
Yeah.
DX club. So um, meaning this, you need to work a lot to achieve your goal. And I know that you are present in many DX contests because it's a very crowded place and is also very challenging to be able to make good contacts during a contest. How do you feel during the contest? Mainly when it's a pile up, or how do you feel at the end of each contest after your energy has to run very fast?
So during the contest, I'm very excited, and always I could not sleep, and it's like a battery and me, and they don't me they give me
An
they
extra energy.
yes, it makes make me so um energy so so it's very interesting feeling. Thank you for this question. And on the end of the contest, of course, I'm very tired, really very tired. But if the result is good, so you are feel satisfied that you do your best and you are on the position which you are. I'm very proud to be a part of the RU1A group. It is the team not far from St. Petersburg, and there are many very good and good experienced hemorrhage operators, and I learned from them a lot. And for me, it's a good example. And I understood that I need every time after the contest, I try to understood what was not very good, what was the wrong, what was the mistakes, what I need to do, which skills I need to improve. And it always, I like contesting, and it is serious for me, not like, so, okay, I will be work and, it's nothing interesting what will be on the end. It's not for me. For me, the result, it's interesting, and I try to do my best for the best result as I can right now. And next time I will think what should I do better to have better result. For example, we had my last contest was Russian Cup. It was just a week ago. I was single operator, high power, all bands, and there was two tours of four, and for each for 4 hours. And I have 600 and something QSOs on this contest. And in my category, I am number 9. And in this contest, there is separate YL group. And I am the second in this YL group because on the first place is RU3X Yankee Irina, she is a winner. She is a very experienced ham radio operator, and I like it. I like this contest because it brings me new experience and new skills also. And I hope that next time I will be a little bit better and better. But also, it's my opinion that if there are big contesting, have separate group for YLs, there will be more YLs who would like to have to be a part of the contest. Once I talked about it in my blog on Facebook, and there were some women who didn't like the idea that I told that it is it is the interesting in our hobby that we compare with the men. It's also good idea, but from my thoughts that if there will be while separate, there will be more while in the contest because it's really very difficult to compare ourselves, to compare women and women, even in our not a very physically active ham radio sport. Yes, but it's my opinion.
Probably it has to be a special quality that someone should have. And from everything that I very, very clearly listened from what you said, your structure is of a very a powerful competitor. You like competition. You are driven to it. So if you don't have this, it's pretty hard. And probably it has to come with a sort of special training in order to convince young ladies that's all right, we can be there. And probably your example will change this mentality among women in the next coming months, years, who knows. And yeah, I totally agree and subscribe to your opinion that it should be more of us because we have nothing to lose after all.
Mhm.
In all these contests, because surprises could be very big sometime, and from those hundreds and hundreds of contacts that you had, do you have a special memory, at least from one of the contests that you participated? Something special came to you during one of these contests?
Um, always happens something very interesting during the contest, but mostly I think it was an RE1A team when it was shut down. This light was absolutely absent. And we were so we wanted to have such a good result in the contest, but we couldn't because partly during the contest there was no lights at all, and of course we could not continue our work. So it's a rememberable moment, and of course very first contest also in my memory, and it was the time when I infected by contesting also, because you feel this energy. Sometimes the people who would like to have QSO with me, they unfortunately they don't understand that I am in the contest, and if you are in the contest, you are very strong, very
Focused.
quickly. Yes, you cannot to say hello, how are you, and so on. It's nice when you have a normal QSO, but sometimes, mostly our friends knows when you are in the contest, they are also very short and very like it needs to be in the contest. But sometimes because of many people would like to have QSO with me, sometimes I have problems with it.
Yeah. Well, maybe if they would have many more experience of experiences of this kind, they would understand better that a contest, it's still a contest
Yeah.
and it cannot be
Somebody
disturbed.
somebody does not like contest, and it's
Yeah.
okay also, no
Yeah.
problem. Our hobby have such many variants of doing. It's
Exactly.
everyone can find something special for itself, himself. But when you are you should polite the other ideas and the other way to make ham radio.
Exactly. Totally agree. Well, from what I have seen on social media, it looks like you have dedicated your last several years by becoming a very powerful The Expedition member. And I have seen few The Expeditions that you did with some other young ladies. And I believe this really meant a big step forward for you. Somehow you moved yourself to a next level. How did you get to this next level and when did you start it?
Uh, the one of the real the expedition which I had, it was only one. It was this year, already last year, 1 year ago. It was Russian um, RRC, Russian Robinson Club Central America tour. It was a big expedition. There was operator from the States and from Russia and from Czech Republic. And it was really, really big expedition to uninhabited Canyo Island in Pacific Ocean in not far from Costa Rica, which belongs to Costa Rica. And it was amazing experience for me, very, very interesting. And I thought I learned a lot of about how it's happened, and I like it very, very much. And the other, it was like wild events. For example, in Czech Republic, which very perfectly organized from my very good friend Eva, HB9FPM. She do it almost every year, and it was my second time when last year when I took part in this event, and it is wonderful because we can see each other, we can talk to each other, we can together work on the year to make some nice QSO with our friends around the world, and I like it so much. It's really, and this at that time I met the first time Mayumi, my now she is my also very good friend from Japan. And after this meeting, we, Eva, Mayumi, and me decided to go to Japan. And it also happened in October last year. It was wonderful. I learned a little bit about the culture, about the people. They are absolutely wonderful. Japanese are kawaii. Kawaii, it means cute. They are very polite. They are very friendly. And I like so much my trip. And it also thankful Ham Radio, thankful Eva and Mayumi, because they do this this trip possible, and it was really wonderful. So I took a part in different ham radio events, but the expedition was only one. But I hope not the last one.
With such an appetite, I really think it's not the last one. And being so successful in just 1 year, I mean, you had a very fruitful year, the 2025 for you. It means a lot.
Yeah.
And probably beside all the good memories that you have from all these trips all around, what you said before, that meeting friends, contacting friends from everywhere else during your radio sessions. It sounds really amazing, and friendship uh, is and should remain the fundamental milestone in this activity, in this passion. How do you perceive this global amateur radio network through this huge, fantastic possibility to create friendships and um, lifelong connections with people from everywhere?
It's just fantastic, just fantastic because mostly for me it's important to a real contact between the people. And I'm very interested in people. And when I'm traveling, I always try to understand what the people live here, what are their values, and every time to be in the different part of the world, I consider that we have the same values. We would like to live in life, love, in kindness, to be happiness, to be in peace. And this is what bring me energy also, because when you just in your flat, you could not to understand this very important thing, that the people are around the world have the same values, and it is very, very important to me.
Which is absolutely fantastic. And I believe all the other participants to the events that you were part of, I believe they think like you, because otherwise, there. What I try to say is that it's so easy to fake, to pretend to do something, but when you look at this world of radio communication, when you look to the people's faces, you suddenly know that's natural, that comes from people's emotion, uh, exactly as you said, that human reservoir is widely open in this passion. And I believe this is something that we need to share more and more and to promote more and more. And I believe that everyone who sees you on social media, even they are or are not amateur radio members, they can feel what you are trying to say there, to show, to promote, to generate, after all. And you are a constant and powerful presence with everything you do, and you share so much from your adventures and your insights related to your adventures. And it's not an easy thing, because you also, I have to mention this, what you do is very professional. It's a lot of work behind of what you do there in order to promote it very well. So congratulations for the way you are doing this. But what I want to ask you is, what does it mean to you to be present on many places where you can promote what you do? I know you are using a lot of platforms. How do you feel being present on these platforms where amateur radio activity can connect, really connect people with the global community?
Firstly, thank you very much for so many kind words to me and to my
My pleasure.
to my trying to promote our hobby. Yeah, it's not very easy to do because you always need to have interesting idea firstly. And then you need to have time to do all this preparation for film or for realize this idea. So you need time, you need energy, you need money for that, and sometimes it seems that it's very easy, but it isn't. everything what I do myself. I'm not a professional at all. I learned step by step how to promote our hobby in YouTube. What is which video likes of my audience, which is not very good for them, and so on. So it's step by step. And also the editing the video, it's also the big process. And firstly, I started, was many hours to make just one video. Now it's a little bit easier, and also because there were popular shorts video, but also to make a good shorts, you also need some hours for editing. It's not like just one short, one video. So, but I like it, and I do it with great pleasure because I see the feedback from our friends around the world, and they motivated me. For example, when young people wrote me that, Raisa, I came to the hobby through your channel. Thank you so much. It so motivated me to continue. And sometimes I have this messages, and also very experienced ham radio operators. They also can find something new because I try to different ways, and maybe this operator was very experienced in, for example, in contesting, and never try to work portable, but portable activity is also very interesting. So the nice feedback from my audience, from our friends, motivated me to continue. And I don't earn money for all my activities. I don't make any advertisement for products or for nothing. I promote only the hobby, and I feel that it's bring something good in our amateur radio world, and it's very nice and good for me.
I believe you understand so wonderfully the advantage of our generation to be able to show this passion, because a few decades ago, beside a QSL that was sent in an envelope to someone else and a diploma to be put on the wall, or maybe an article written in a magazine, there was nothing else. Now it's so easy for people to know who you are, how you look like, what's your life about, because you are telling about many other things, not only our passion of from our existence. So it's a wonderful opportunity to create around this passion a very, very generous and colorful image of how it looks like inside this world. So uh, I want to ask you something starting from here, because we have more than 100 years since the first woman became an amateur radio licensed member. How could we explain going back in time to that woman how it will be like after 100 years?
It's interesting question, and it's more interesting what will be in 100 years. How it will look like. It's absolutely unpredictable.
Exactly. Everything around us is changing so quickly. All this technology that brings us all sorts of changes that we must keep the rhythm, because otherwise it's not so interesting. So from
I'm
everything,
very, very happy that due to the fact of internet, of many possibility to contact people through different messages, the ham radio still live, and I am sure that it will be live for a long time, because sometimes there are negative view on the future of ham radio. I don't have negative view. I have very a positive view. Maybe it will change somehow, but it will continue. And maybe even now when some messages blocked for some reasons in different countries, maybe even now it's will their interest to ham radio will involve
Increase. Yes, will evolve.
increase.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's something what can be quite independently. Thus,
Yes.
it's very interesting that our hobby is quite independent.
Wonderful. Wonderful. From everything that you said, I understand that at least your last year was a brilliant year for your ham radio experience. You mentioned your travels, your contests, because we are just at the beginning of 2026. If you would describe in few words as an overall image of the 2025, how would you describe this last year of yours?
It was fantastic year for me. And firstly, I would like to say thank you to all my friends who helped me to make this year like I had, because the without help of my friends, I could not do it. And it's also one of the very important part of our hobby. It is a friendship, and not only blah, 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 but also real things that give the opportunity to make some different trips, or to have some interesting ideas for the video and so on. So thank you to my friends, because they are wonderful.
Without them, actually, it's useless to mention this passion without this environment around us. Well, we are just at the beginning of 2026. I know that your birthday is coming soon. But after you finish everything, your celebration and everything, I believe you already made your list of personal goals, projects, objectives for this 2026. In case you didn't, don't waste your time. So, um, as everybody else is trying to do at the beginning of every year, we think, what should I do in this new year? So, what Raisa believes she will achieve in this very powerful year, 2026?
I don't have any special goals or any special plans for this year. I just have some dreams, and I hope that the dream will come true. And also, I hope that there will be more YLs on the air, and more young people and more active people on the air, because during the contest, we see how many people are on the radio, but normal day, usual day, there are no so many stations. So we need to be more active. And I hope that next year will be interesting for each ham radio operator, and we will be some very nice memories in the future. What it was.
From what you said previously, that you had received such a wonderful feedback from many young people or other kind of people who followed your example, who really felt that you are an example for them. It's not such a big dream to believe that something will happen, because if you continue to be such a powerful presence in the social media, you will definitely convince others to follow you. And I wish you totally, I wish you from the bottom of my heart to be so, because you deserve, because you have so many qualities. You are a gifted person. And I think you know very well that you are special. And I don't say big words. And who knows you, I think, agrees that what I say right now is just a small part from what you really are. So it's the end of this first interview we are doing together. First of all, I would like to thank you a lot because you accepted my invitation, and it was a pleasure to talk with you. Not on air, not only through the radio waves you send your emotion, but you are doing exactly the same job, and you are doing very well with, I think, with everybody who you talk to. So I felt it as well. For our last final sequence of this podcast, because it's the beginning of a new year, I would like to invite you to send a message to all your friends, to all your present or future subscribers on your media channels, what you wish to all of them.
Firstly, I would like to say thank you for such a nice job that you are doing. You have a very young YouTube channel, and I wish you success. And I have already watched some of your videos and interviewed with our common friend Amir. That was absolutely wonderful. It was so interesting to watch, and the way that you go through with your idea, with your new channel. I like it very much, very much. And I hope that our friends around the world will also um, um, uh, watch and subscribe your channel.
Thank you.
And to my friends around the world, I would like to say just enjoy the hobby, just be active with ham radio, just be happy instead of the other facts, because sometimes we can't to influence for everything. But what we can do, we can try to do try to do good things, not only for ourselves but also for our friends, and to share this happiness, this joy, and to stay positive and be happy. So it's my wishes to all, and I hope that the people will be more have more reasons for smile and for be happy.
If we just forget to smile, it will be enough to look at you, and your smile will convince us to smile again. So
Yeah.
you are contagious. You are contagious.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, it is. I often got the message about my smile, and I'm so happy to know that my smile bring smile to other people. That one is really that also make me happy.
Well, what I want to wish you is to continue to smile from your heart, to be a light in people's lives, even if it's inside this hobby or wherever you go, to wish you to enjoy everything that this wonderful experience will bring you in the next coming months and years, and to be a powerful example for young women, for young people, for everybody who really sees through your eyes this magical world of amateur radio, and through your eyes the powerful friendships that this world brings us if we know what to do. So
Thank you
once
very
again,
much. Thank you, Felice. Thank you for this interview. It was very interesting to talk to you, and I wish you many more interesting person to talk. And I'm sure that you will find, because almost everyone is very interesting, because we have very interesting hobby. Firstly, so thank you so much. 73.
73, my dear. So, dear friends, this was my podcast with Raisa. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, or maybe even more that I did. If we convinced you that our life has many reasons to be a good one. And at least if we know that there's someone else on the other part of the world that, like us, enjoys this passion and finds the inner resource to keep smiling in front of every challenge of life, to be happy, even if there are many reasons to convince us that we shouldn't be happy. If we remember that this world can keep us in this beautiful part of life, then we are winners, and together we can create a winning part of our lives. So until next time, I wish you all to remain joyful, keep smiling, and do your best with this wonderful passion of amateur radio. Bye bye to all of you, and 73.